Hello, good afternoon, everyone. The scholars at place far away from my place and scholars of my own country. I welcome you wholeheartedly to this webinar on various concepts during this period of lockdown. To begin with, Prarthana to Ichchita Daiva and Ichchita Guru is said auspicious, with which let me begin. Gurubhyo Namaha. ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलं स्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे बन्धुस्त्वं गुरुरिष्टदैवतमिति त्वत्पादपङ्केरुहं प्राप्तं मां परिपालयेति सततं याचे निबद्धाञ्जलि चित्तं मद्गुणदोषचिन्तनविधौ नूनं मनाङ्मा कृथा श्रीः सत्यप्रमोदतीर्थगुरोः त्वदङ्घ्रियुगलं हित्वा न मे सद्गतिः न शब्दाब्धो गाढाः न च निगमचर्चासु चतुराः न च न्याये प्रौढाः न च विजितवेद्या अपि वयम् रघुप्रमतिसत्पुत्रं सत्प्रमोदबहुप्रियम् अजातशत्रुं तं वन्दे रघुप्रियगुरुं सदा. I'm very much pleased and thankful to the organizers of this web-based online teaching classes for the benefit of scholars of whoever is following this page. Hope this web-based online lectures would help more to analyze concepts with a different view and a different thinking process. Ayurveda being a Shastra which is Anadi, Ananta, Apaurusheya, Swabhava Samsiddha, with such par excellent qualities being present in this Shastra, many take this Ayurveda Shastra as just a philosophy wherein no science or science related concepts are being explained in this. Many do even think that Ayurveda it just says it never works. And it is unfortunately everything being narrated in Ayurveda, yadi hasti tadanyatram yanne hasti nakutrajit, as Samhitakara at the conclusion says in Siddhisthana of Charaka, at the end, that yadi hasti tadanyatram yanne hasti nakutrajit. Whatever is being explained in this is definitely present in the universe, and whatever that is not explained in this is present nowhere. To accept this and to believe this sentence of Granthakara, we need to be adaraniya towards Grantha, and we should take the Grantha as Paramadara Samhita or Paramadara Kriti. That is why Vidheya Paramadaraha has been narrated. The topic allotted to me is a concept of research methodology in Ayurvedic Samhita. Being faculty from Department of Samhita and Siddhanta, our eye, our vision, called bird eye, will be always towards every word and its apt meaning. As the topic consists in Ayurveda Samhita rather of Ayurveda Samhita, my talk or my words will be concentrating on what basis or what sort of Ayurvedic researches have been carried out and documented in the form of Samhitas. Definitely, Ayurveda is a research based, multi trial carried grantha, maybe Brahatrayi, Laghutrayi, whatever. As it is a research based treatise, that means it has definitely carried various research activities before writing it. Unless otherwise there is a work done over anything, no one would dare to proudly say, to proudly comment, and darely conclude saying yadi hasti tadanyatram yanne hasti na kutrachit. When Granthakara is telling this, it definitely means he has carried out different ways of researches, and through the research, whatever the result he has obtained, that was documented. But many comment over this and say that it is not at all a research based or documentation based or so. For that scenario, it appears as if definitely there is no documentation or research being carried out, as the whole Grantha is in the form of Prashnottara Malika, especially Vimanasthana, where most research concepts are being explained. To throw a light over research concepts and methods adopted over Ayurveda Samhitas or adopted in Ayurveda Samhitas, a prime factor need to be considered is nothing other than belief. When we have come to this science to study, to think over it, to grasp it, and to practice it, as well as to teach it, to continue this parampara, we should definitely believe it through a simple pramana called as Aptavachana. Whole Ayurveda is an Aptavachana for us, because the followers of Ayurveda are definitely Astikyavada followers. Most of Ayurvedic concepts are related with Astikyavada. Anastikyata is not seen, but as a saying is there, for the person who is suffering with jaundice, everything will be looked yellowish. If an astika person keeps thinking over this concepts explained in Ayurveda regarding research, then the Nastikyata definitely takes front step and brings him to think that Ayurveda there is no research being carried out. Anaditvam, Swabhava Samsiddha Lakshanatvam, Apaurushayat are the prime factors which say the richness of Ayurveda. And these are the words which say that research has not been carried out. And with this Apaurushayatva, when there is no one to document it, how do you justify that the Grantha is researched, multi-trial carried out, multi-centered trials being carried out and documented? If you accept that it is researched and trials have been done and then documented, then apaurushayatva quality is vanished. If you accept that it is being explained with proper results, with being research carried out in a way, then swabhava samusiddhatva is vanished. And anaditva definitely goes away when the parameters of research are being applied. I am very much thankful and blissful for the organizers to frame the title as Concept of Research Methodology in Ayurveda Samhitas. That is what was my first clarification to be given. Then in Ayurveda, we come across many concepts, and it's a mindset of every scholar at the level of undergraduate studies and even at the level of postgraduate studies, wherein they want to be shown themselves as chikitsaka than samhita adhetu. To do chikitsa of any vyadhi, we need the background of that particular vyadhi. Such as, if we don't know the nidana, samprapti, bheda, sadhya sadhyata, upayukta aushadha, palliability, desha, agni, dashavidha pariksha vishaya, and all, then examination of the individual who is affected with vyadhi and planning the roga pratibandhaka kriya, that is chikitsa, becomes very difficult. So everyone is concentrated only towards chikitsa, and nobody is interested in philosophical explanations, so called, which are actually not, such as Sutrasthan, Vimanasthan, Sharirasthan, and all. Mind you, many concepts of chikitsa which have not been enlisted in chikitsa sthana are being documented in these sthanas, which are so-called philosophicals. But all concepts are explained with purna pramana. Yatha vina pramanam shastram nasti. If something has to be called shastra, there has to be a pramana for it to get the name as shastra. Ayurveda is a chikitsa pradhana shastra. Hence, it definitely possesses pramanas, and these pramanas are not self-explanatory. They are not self-limiting to only Ayurveda. They are definitely linked with universal acceptance. Maybe their words or their nama may differ. Like we call pratyaksha, we call anumana, we call aptopadesha, and yukti, agama. So many are there. These are the granthika shabda or granthika nama given to these pramanas to accept the concepts and to explain the concepts by disproving, that is khandana, of other concepts which are wrong, and proves the actual, original, fact-based, science-based, experiment-based concepts being proved with the use of these pramanas. Few Shastrakara accepts Ashtavidha rasa. Few accept Ekarasa. Few accept 7 rasa. But Ayurveda, by the use of Pratyaksha, Anumana, Aptopadesha, and Yukti Pramana, does khandana of these Aneka Rasa Vada and brings back, proves that why only Shadrasa are existing. No doubt, Ksharadi, Anukta Rasas do exist, but they are not separate, they are hidden in this rasa only. That is, Ksharadi rasa or whatever other rasa other than 6 rasas, what other Granthaka, Pratitantras explain, they all are existing with the possibility of and confirmed possibility of Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta. Sarvam Dravyam Panchabhutikam is not only the Ukti of Ayurveda, it is Ukti of Veda, Purana, Upanishad, Shastra, Smriti, everything. When Sarvam Dravyam Panchabhutikam is said, Akasha itself is a Dravya. Akasha as a Pratyeka Dravya also comes in a Dravya list. This alone Akasha, being one of the Panchabhuta, do possesses all other Panchamahabhuta in it. That is what Vedanta Darshana explained regarding Panchikarana Siddhanta and Trivritkarana Siddhanta. Without Panchamahabhuta, when there is no Dravya being existing, how can we say that other rasa, without permutation and combination of Panchamahabhuta, are being existing? When Panchamahabhuta are present in all those rasas also, other than the Shadrasa, the same permutation and combination are fitting in the rasas which are explained by Ayurveda, like Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Tikta, Katu, Kashaya. One or the other way, the unexplained rasas as per Ayurveda do fall under these 6 categories only. Hence, as a conclusion, with the proof of Pramana, Pratyaksha, Anumana, Aptopadesha, Yukti, it is proved that no rasas other than these 6 are existing in the universe. For explaining all these concepts, Ayurveda uses various theories such as Vada Marga, Tantra Yukti, and Tashchilya, Kalpana, Tantra Guna, everything. Charaka explains the concepts very wide with a different view. As a narrative style for Sutrasthana and a discussion related style for Vimanasthana, wherein questions are being asked by Vidyarthis and Guru answering to it. In Vimanasthana 4th chapter, that is Trividha Vishesha Vijnani, Roga Vishesha Vijnaniyam Adhyayam, the beginning itself, it begins with, or the chapter itself, it begins with Trividha Vijnana, which are supported by, or this chapter itself as a whole is being supported by 3 important pramanas, that is Aptopadesha, Pratyaksha, and Anumana. Without Aptopadesha, Pratyaksha Jnana or Anumana Jnana is asadhya, asambhav. Yukti being included in Anumana, Anumanam खलु तर्को युक्त्यपेक्षः. So there is no doubt that yukti is also being considered as pramana to prove this. And Vadamarga explained in 8th chapter and Tantra Yukti explained in Siddhisthana last chapter give us an excellent basis for analyzing the concepts in a beautiful way. Among 44 Vadamargas explained by Charaka Samhita, though all 44 play active role in any concept to be proved or disproved, but pradhanatah, pradhanasya pradhanena ityadi kalpana, pradhanatah adhikaranataya, 5 Vadamargas, also known as Panchavayava Vakya, play an excellent role. Textual references with yatha पूर्वाध्याये उक्तम यथा पुराणेन उक्तम यथा वेदेषु अभिमतम इत्यादि give the reference that Ayurveda Shastra has also taken the reference, did a literary research over Vedadi. Agni being Pradhana, while narrating Grahani Dosha Chikitsitam, it is explained Ayuhu, Varna, Balam, Utsaha, Prabha, Upajay, everything the factor culprit which is causative for the good or the bad of this is Agni. But in the beginning of the Grantha it is said Doshadhatu malamulam hi sada dehasya shariras, where separately Agni is not being considered. Pradhanyata of Agni is being lost, it is assumed or it is seen superficially. Sukshmataha, definitely Agni is involved in this sentence. For this, a literary research what Ayurveda might have done, being Upaveda of Atharvana Veda, the Rigveda Samhita, being oldest, begins its Adhyaya with narration of Agni only. Agni Mile Purohitam Yajnasya Devamritvijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam Agni Purvebhihi Rushibhihi Sadevam Eha Vakshati. Agni and Agni related Kriya have been narrated in Rigveda Samhita at the beginning, which indicates that while narrating the concept of Agni in Ayurveda Samhita, the literary research definitely has been carried out, enlisted, documented from Rigvedadi Purva Samhitas. Coming to clinical example where research is being carried out, we can find n number of research concepts wherein without research these concepts have not been proved at all. For example, while explaining Aushadha Kalpana, Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana, Swarasa, Kalka, Kashaya, Shruta, Shita have been narrated. Which avastha of Vyadhi, based on Bala of Rogi, which Dravya Swarasa should be used, has been highlighted, and contraindication of Swarasa, Kalka, Kashaya, Ityadi in various Vyadhis also have been enlisted. Do we think that without knowing the drawbacks, are these explanations related to Chikitsa are being narrated? No. The present research methods of modern science or modern era do not 100% hold good with the research methods of Ayurveda, because Ayurveda looks every individual as an individual patient, every vyadhi as an individual patient. Unlike a modern research method, that a study of XYZ drug over XYZ disease to prove its efficacy, so much amount of samples have been collected, and if the samples are presenting what all the inclusion criteria, subjective and objective parameters are present, they will be included, and such XYZ drug will be given as a trial. And if that drug is acting well, diminishing all pathology, breaking down the pathology and bringing health back, that is known as the drug is best. If it is not doing so, then they conclude it as this drug is no way holding good. Present society is expecting this sort of Ayurvedic research for its global acceptance, which is actually not possible, because Ayurveda believes one important concept, that is Purusham Viksha Sadneyaha Vishagu. If a person presenting with Jwara, say a person A is presenting with Jwara and person B also presents with Jwara, his Prakriti and the person B's Prakriti are definitely different. Hetu Sevana for A and Hetu Sevana for B is different. Though Lakshana is same, Chikitsa cannot be adopted only based on the Lakshana. Kevala Lakshanika Chikitsa is nowhere mentioned or appreciated. Samshodhana, Samshamana, Nidana Parivarjana, Daivapashraya, Yuktavapashraya, Sattvavajaya. Such Chikitsa factors, Vibhaga, multiple treatment modalities need to be adopted. Then only a Vyadhi Shamana can be seen. Person A may need single drug with Ushna Jala as Anupana, and person B may need multiple Dravya with Ushna Jala as Anupana. So there lies the yukti of Vaidya to assess Dashavidha Pariksha, Trividha Pariksha, Prashna Pariksha, Pradhanataha, what all the Hetu, Purvavyadhi, and based on these, Vaidya through his yukti can frame a Chikitsa yoga. This would be a good example to say that the modern research methods cannot be adopted. And this is where we are failing to understand the concepts of Ayurveda, which have explained as a unique, though Vyadhi is single, every Purusha is different, still Hetvadi would explain us about these differentiation to choose the best drug to be developed for this. Another good example what we can draw regarding the time-tested, trial-oriented concepts have been only documented would be the Siddhisthana, which explains about Panchakarma related concepts, wherein Samyak Siddha, Atiyoga, Ayoga, Mithya Yoga adi Lakshana have been narrated. For example, for Virechana, these set are Samyak Yoga. Gudena Raktasrava iti Ati Yoga, Mithya Yoga, and Hina Yoga have been enlisted. Lakshanas have been enlisted. Can just by assumption, can anyone explain these all concepts? That without a research background, without trial, they have documented it that these lakshanas are mithya yoga, these lakshanas are hina yoga, these are samyak yoga. No, definitely not. They all have been tested widely, tried at multiple centers, and what all the observations being made by every researcher have been put together, and then it is documented as these are mithya yoga, these are ati yoga, these are hina yoga, ityadi. So how to understand such hidden secrets of research methods of Ayurveda in our Samhitas becomes a big question for everyone. To find out answer for such questions, the only way available to us, which is simplest and most easiest, would be utility of Tantra Yukti, Vada Marga, and such Pramanadi concepts. Various acharyas have enumerated different number of Tantra Yuktis, and acceptance of Pramana by various scholars also differ. And Vada Marga explained by Charaka Samhita or Agnivesha Samhita in proper has vast importance in understanding all research concepts of Ayurveda. Whole 44 Vada Margas can be summarized and made a few categories, such as Shatpadartha Vada, where it includes Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavada. Panchavaya Vakya, where it includes Pratijna, Hetu, Drishtanta, Upanaya, Nigamana, and Pratijna Hani as an opposite to the Pratijna. That is hypothesis, null hypothesis, research hypothesis, or alternate hypothesis. If whatever the hypothesis is made and that is proved with Hetu, Drishtanta, Upanaya, and then it is announced, concluded that this is true, then it is positivity, that is research hypothesis. The null hypothesis would be Pratijna Hani. If a proposal or a hypothesis formulated over any concept which will not be proved with use of Hetu, Drishtanta, Upanaya, Nigamadi, Panchavaya Vakya, then there will be Hani for the hypothesis which is formulated. Hence, that can be a null hypothesis, what we can take it as. So, such theories have been formulated. Continuation with Vada Marga, Pramana being subheading, which includes Pratyaksha, Anumana, Aitihya, Shabda, Aupamya. They are Pramanas also and Vada Marga also. Next would be Hetu, Upalambha, Hetvantara, Arthantara, Abhijnana, Atitakala, Chala, Parihara, Uttara, Jidnyasa, Anuyoga, Pratyanuyoga, Anuyojya, Ananuyojya, and all for only debate purpose. Arthaprapti, Drishtanta, Aitihya, Samshaya, Prayojana, Vyabhichara, Vyavasaya, Sambhava, with comparison to Tantra Yuktis, these can be utilized in research activity. So, how do these Tantra Yukti and Vada Marga help us in understanding the researches? At many places, we come across pratyayas or avyayas like cha, tu, hi, api, and all. Patanjala Vyakarana, while narrating about these avyaya, says, Cha tu apihi vakya purane. Cha, tu, api are definitely used, are usually used to do sampurna of vakya, to complete the sentence when only akshara, one akshara is lagging behind or two aksharas are lagging behind, to frame the chandas in which the grantha is being documented. For such, Vyakarana Niyama might have been used. This sort of understanding would be limited to Mandabuddhi, but the one who with a Tikshna Buddhi considers these all as Vakya Shesha Tantra Yukti, Arthapatti Tantra Yukti, Adhikarana Tantra Yukti, Uddesha, Uhya, Nirdesha, Prasanga, Ekanta, Anekanta, Ityadi Tantra Yukti. By applying these Tantra Yukti, the Gudhartha, Leshartha, Shlokartha can be understood. Example, a Laukika example which generally in Sanskrit language used, such as Saindhavam Anaya. When group of people are sitting for food, when they are taking their food, if someone utters this sentence that Saindhavam Anaya, the meaning at that particular prasanga should be in relation with Lavana. It should not be in relation with Ashva. Even Ashva has synonym as Saindhava. And while in the wars, when soldiers are fighting against the Shatru, if some soldier says Saindhava Manaya at that prasanga and at that adhikarana of Yuddha, Saindhavam Anaya would be definitely in relation with Ashva, not in relation with Saindhava Lavana. So such Tantra Yukti or Gudhartha are being used at multiple places to preserve the science for the most eligible candidates who are adhikari for Ayurveda Shastra Adhyayana. Such Tantra Yukti Pada are being utilized. Panchashat Kashaya and Gana, what explained in Sutrasthana, about 500 Mahakashayas and 50 500 Kashayas and 50 Mahakashayas. It is definitely a research trial done. If Amra, Amrataka, Lakuchakara, Marda, Ityadi, Dashemani, Hridyani Bhavanti, confidently Granthakara is documenting it in the form of manuscript. That means definitely it has been tested. Pratyakshataha, they have tried all these dravyas over patients and seen the effect as Hridya. Anumanataha, because of their Rasaguna Veera Vipaka and Hetu Nashaka quality, that is Samprapti Vedaka Guna, by applying Anumana, they might have tried it. Aptopadesha, like someone says, the elders with their experience that these all drugs are helpful. When a Kupajala is not tasting sweet, then the ancestors' knowledge says that 2 big twigs of Amalaki, if thrown into the Kupa, the Jala becomes Madhura, which is Aswadu Jala in the Kupa turns Swadu. This is by Purvaja, Ukta and Shruta Varda, that is Aptopadesha. Yukti, by Swayukti or Tantra Yukti. Tantra is Shastra Yukti, might have analyzed or definitely have analyzed, instead using might, which is improper or imperfect to be used at this scenario. They have tested it, they have analyzed the Vyadhi Karana and the Pratibandhaka Lakshana they have observed in these dravyas and collected, given as a group of dravya for Murkha Vaidya like us. If you do prayoga of this Gana as a Aushadha Rupa, the person suffering with particular Vyadhi gets relief. But the person who believes Aptopadesha and studies Ayurveda with each and every concept being clear with the help of Tantra Yukti, with the help of Vadamarga, with Pramana, and Bahushastra Drishti, Ekam Shastram Madhiyano Navidya Shastra Nishchayaha Tasmat Bahushatam Shastram. By observing multiple Shastras, as Sushruta says, will think about the Vyadhi Karana, Hetu, Prakriti, Vyadhi Swabhava, Sadhya Sadhyata. Based on this, he will choose a single dravya and prescribes as a aushadha to relieve the Vyadhi with which that individual is suffering. So these concepts of Ayurveda are definitely tried and then documented. Mere if someone writes, now so many scholars do their research activity over Ganas, research activity over Ekamulika Prayoga, research activity over Samprapti, research activity over Vyadhi with correlation of Hetu and Aushadha. They carry out and they definitely come to a conclusion that whatever is said, Yaduktam Tadavashyam, in Granthas is definitely being seen. Many other concepts like Indriyasthanokta Lakshanas, Kanichit Purusha Ashritani, Kanichit Purusha Anashritani Bhavas have been narrated in Indriyasthana, which is the link between Nidhanasthana and Chikitsasthana. By assessing Nidhanasthana, by well knowledge of Nidhanasthana, one should assess the Rogi and Roga and analyze it whether it is Arishta Lakshana Yukta or Anarishta Lakshana Yukta or Rishtabhasa. If it is with Arishta Lakshana, then treatment, whatever is being done, would fail. And if it is Rishtabhasa, which appear as if it is Arishta, and if treatment is attempted, that would definitely give a fruitful result. When so many Arishta and Rishtabhasa Lakshanas have been narrated, does it mean that it is not being tested, tried, analyzed with multiple ways? They have seen so many patients and then they have explained this concept, without which the concept wouldn't have been explained in this way. Such different examples we can still find at every corner. While narrating about Sharirasthana, it is explained that Nirdishtam Daiva Shabdena Karmam Yat Parvadehikam Hetuhu Tat Api Kalena Roganam Vyadhinam Vikaranam Bajayate. Vikara do emerge in everyone's life based on Purvajanma Krita karma only. When such sentences from philosophical thoughts have been put forth to the universe, the acceptance rate come down. But these are the basis for our science to understand all such concepts, compare and treat efficiently all such vyadhis. Without accepting these all, it is very difficult to prove that definitely an Ayurveda is research-based concept. Getting so many questions over this. Yesterday itself, when the topic was posted, many questions were raised. Among them, reliability and validity was being asked. Whether Ayurvedic researches are reliable and they are valid. If we don't believe our own science and if we question about our reality, then Ayurveda, its own quality, we are not believing, and we are as if we are not believing Ayurveda itself. When we are believing Ayurveda, we are definitely believing Aptopadesha. When we are believing Aptopadesha, we are definitely following the Vata Sutra explained in Granthas. So reliability won't be the question. Validity, definitely it is a question to be answered, and many times it is untouched or unanswered, because the society expects us to present our results with the statistical data, wherein the statistical data being to be presented as if the modern science is presenting, which is quite impossible. Hence, validity cannot be answered with statistical analysis. Vishwaso Phaladayakaha. And when everything, Hetu, Linga, Purvarupa, Samprapti are being analyzed and then attempted for the treatment, Sadhya Sadhya Vibhagadnyo, Jnanapurvam Samacharite, one if he is doing with Sadhya and Asadhya Vibhaga and analyzing the Vyadhi and treating it, definitely there won't be any loss in the Chikitsa concept. Another question was data management system in ancient text. Data management system was definitely present or is present, and that is very much can be appreciated, that every Samhita being explained with different sthana, Sutra sthana, Nidana sthana, Vimana sthana, and so on. It is based on the data only. Collective data, quantitative data, qualitative data, cumulative data, and so on. So I hope that would be the answer for this. And numerical presentations was one of the question. Whether numerical values being used, yes, definitely used. In Jwara Chikitsa, while narrating about Vataja Jwara, Saptadina and Chaturdasha Dina, Pittaja Jwara, 9 days, 18 days, Kaphaja Jwara, it is 11 days, 22nd days, Punaravartana takes place and all has been narrated. Jwara Vega Kala has been narrated. Dvitiyama, Pratah Kala, Madhyahna, Sandhya Kala, the Vega comes and lasts for these many days. So these all examples would give us numerical explanation. Another question was difference between research methodology and research methods. Methodology would be the science and methods are the tools what we adopt for it. Another was, what is the difference between Vada, Darshana and Siddhanta? Siddhanta is a topic where it can be considered as with Vada only it is being proved. To prove Siddhanta, Vada and Vada Marga are definitely helping. Darshana, definitely Darshana is also having its own way of scientific background. That is why still so many Darshanika followers are existing and still those Darshanika views are being practiced. Next. If we conduct research on the basis of research methodology of Samhita, what will be its reliability and validity? It was the question asked yesterday after the post, and I hope I have answered this. Another question is, are there any references in Samhita that Acharya has suggested the understanding and proof of their statements are to be researched by upcoming generations? Definitely they are there. The Tantra Yukti, what we are talking about, we need to apply Tantra Yukti at every aspect, and then only can be understood that na naktam dadi bunji. When it is said Ratri Kala Dadi Sevana is contraindicated, that means Nishikala it can be taken. Yes, by Tantra Yukti it is understood so. Then definitely by what Uddesha is this sentence being stated? There, if you apply Uddesha Tantra Yukti, you can do a research on what Uddesha, that Abhishandatvat, Roga Janana Karanatvat ityadi, if Uddesha was enlisted, then you can do a research over such Uddesha, that whether if consumed definitely causes Abhishandi Lakshana or Vyadhi Utpatti Karana it becomes. That can be a research statement which indirectly Granthakara have made. Which of them is mostly focused in Ayurveda? Quantitative analysis or qualitative? Both are definitely focused based on avastha of Vyadhi and Chikitsaka and Upalabdhi of Aushadhadi Dravya and Vyadhi according to the Nidana. The qualitative and quantitative both are definitely considered. So, hope these are the questions raised by the viewers. Research topic itself is quite vast. It is as said as volatile, like spirit. When we are talking about research or when we are understanding research, it is felt that yes, definitely it is very easy and we are able to understand it. But as and when we start working over it, it becomes very volatile. Hence, we need to have a broad view. In my view, personally, I feel that modern parameter of research study, whatever is being practiced right now, is not acceptable by pure Ayurveda, and there should be a new workup over formulation of such protocol based on Purusham Viksha Siddhanta, how a research can be carried out. It should be a prime to be touched by scholars and should carry out more work over such concepts. Then the Grantha becomes very fruitful. I hope I have convinced to the possible extent with concept of research methodology in Ayurveda Samhitas. I would be happy to know my drawbacks so that I can rectify. and happy to know more from senior scholars who have worked, who have dedicated their life over such works, and I shall be keen to listen to such scholars. With this view, I would conclude my talk that anena bhavi yat punyam tadapnotu gurur mama. Whatever the good words I have brought over this chintana are all because of the grace of my Guru Parampara from whom I studied. And I am very much thankful to Dr. Abhijit Saraf sir and Dharmadhikari sir for throwing the light on my view. And I am very, very thankful to my Guru Vaidya J.R. Joshi sir and A.S. Prashant sir for giving their points when this concept was asked for me to talk over. With their valuable suggestions, I have tried my best to analyze this concept, and any drawbacks or any unscientific words which are spoken are all my mistakes. So I thank the organizers, I thank the President Lochan Acharya, who encouraged and asked me to talk over this concept. I'm thankful to everyone for patient listening and for their valuable comments. Vakya Shuddhartha and Manas Shuddhartha I have tried my best. Would definitely promise to upgrade more and come in front of you with more references. Thank you one and all.